I always laugh when science discovers something that we have known for years or decades or centuries to be intuitively true, and yet science makes a discovery as if it's something that's only just been uncovered. And of course, this year there's been a new buzzword that's been used in the world of HR, and that buzzword is Blue Monday. I don't know if you've heard it, but Blue Monday describes scientifically the day we are most likely to feel despondent, depressed, dejected as we go into this new year. Blue Monday is the year we go back to work. And scientists can give you the formula for why this is such a challenging day for so many of us. But intuitively, we know it's true. It's hard to come off a break and get back into work. And so in this video, I'm going to call this the January Jumpstart. I'm going to look at 5 keys to starting from the holiday mode and getting back into the new year and building momentum, getting into that flow state, getting into a groove, but more importantly, staying there. First key if you're going to jumpstart this new year is to start small. Now, Newton's first law of motion tells us that objects that are stationary tend to stay stationary, whereas objects that are in motion tend to stay in motion. And so the hardest thing in the world is to get off go, to break what we often refer to as the gravity of inertia. In fact, that scientific law of Newton's is often called the law of inertia, and it says that when you're stopped, it takes the most energy to get off go, but once you're moving, it's much easier to speed up. Now, Mark Twain put it well when he said, the secret to getting ahead is to get started, and that is so true. So what are some small tasks you can set? A couple of goals just to get you moving in the new year. And it's not about productivity, it's not about what you're getting done, it's about the fact that you are getting in motion. Second key is to prune ruthlessly. I want you to look at the last year and think, well, what are the things that were on my plate, that were on my agenda, that were in my daily schedule, that no longer serve a purpose? What do I need to prune away in order to create capacity for what I need to put on my plate this year? Because, you know, the good can often be the enemy of the best. So for you, it may be pruning away some projects, some initiatives, some committees you're on. You know, one thing I've seen a few of my colleagues do in the last few days and weeks is to use a service called Unroll Me. So unroll.me, and this will actually unroll you from all of those electronic newsletters that you get every single day. Just trying to clear some of the decks, clear some of the email clutter that you get coming through your inbox. So what is it you can prune this year so that you've got some free space and capacity to focus on what you can build in the new year? Number 3, you need to be purpose-driven, not productivity-driven. And we all know about the importance of starting with why, and Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. And that's so important. Don't just go into this new year just doing things because that's what you were doing in the past, operating on autopilot. It's so critical to be intentional. What are you wanting to achieve this year? What's the vision? What are the goals? And do your activities line up with that vision, all those goals? Because if they don't, you need to really rethink the activities you're spending your time engaging in. But to start with a clear sense of what's the goal, what's the end in mind for this year? And if it takes you 5, 10, 15 minutes just to sit down with a blank sheet of paper to start with that is time well invested. All right, number 4, the 4th key to getting into a groove this year is to aim for innovation. To look at the new ways you can be doing old things. And that is so critical because, you know, in this current age of disruption and change, if you're just doing what you were doing last year, you're going to find that as times have moved on, that task that was effective last year is not going to be as effective this year. The late Dr. Wayne Dyer put it best when he said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And so the challenge you face as you go into this new year is don't just adopt the same paradigm, the same mentality you had last year. What's the new lens you can look at the world through? Because the world has changed. Even over this holiday period, the world has changed. How can you adjust your mindset so you can be innovative and keep pace? All right, number 5, the 5th key is about pace, and it's about achieving a sustainable pace. To not set the goals so high, to not be so ambitious that you go into the year hoping to change everything overnight, and when you find that you can't change everything overnight, you get despondent. Set an achievable pace. You know, it is not binges of activities, it's baby steps. That's where momentum is built. I was speaking with a colleague over the break, and I'd said to them, as we all do, you know, Happy New Year. And their response was so interesting that this colleague said, yeah, but will it be a new year? And I said, what do you mean by that? And she said, well, will it be a new year or will it just be another year? And I thought that was such a good question. And that's a question I would leave you with. As we go into this new year, will it actually be a new year or just simply another year, an extension of the past? You know, looking back at the last year, maybe it was a great year, maybe it wasn't a great year. Regardless, this is a chance to rule off, blank slate, to do something awesome. So I hope this video has been useful in jumpstarting your new year. I want to wish you all the very, very best.
Multi-award-winning speaker and best-selling author Michael McQueen is recognised internationally as a leading trends expert and business strategist. He's helped some of the world's best-known brands navigate change and maintain momentum, and is a sought-after commentator on television and radio.
Social researcher and author Michael McQueen.
Social researcher Michael McQueen joins us now with
marketing expert Michael McQueen.
Joining us is Michael McQueen.
Legendary business leader Jack Welch once said, "The moment the rate of change outside an organisation exceeds the rate of change within it, the end is near." And never has that insight been more timely than it is today. You know, in the last century, the average life expectancy of a Fortune 500 company has dropped from 67 years to just 15 years. And it's predicted that within a decade, 40% of businesses today will not exist. What is the difference between the enduring and the endangered? What are they doing differently? It's companies that come back from the brink are always stronger as a result of the experience. You know, Lego is an 85-year-old brand. It is more relevant, more profitable today than ever before. Today, every brand, organisation and institution is facing a perfect storm of technological disruption, market upheaval and generational transition. And while smart leaders and organisations will reinvent themselves as these changes hit, much smarter leaders and organisations will reinvent themselves before they are forced to do so.
Known for his engaging, practical and high-impact presentations, Michael is a familiar face on the international conference circuit and has shared the stage with the likes of Bill Gates, Whoopi Goldberg and Larry King.
Now, Charles Darwin put it best when he said, "It is not the strongest that survive, nor is it the most intelligent. Rather," he said, "it's those who are most responsive to change."